Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I am a beauty enthusiast that loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today we are talking about some December favorites because we did a lot of wrapping up in December, but there were still some products that I may have briefly talked about in December that I kind of just want to highlight again. Definitely let you know that these products, I highly recommend and love them, and that if you haven't checked them out, just, maybe you might want to. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it, and let's get right into this video. Okay, before we get started, nothing that I'm talking about today is on my face except for a couple of products. However, I'm trying out something and I will be doing a review on this very soon. So before you ask, you can definitely check down in the D box as to what I'm wearing. I'm sorry for sometimes not being consistent with that. I try to make sure everything's down there in terms of what's on my face. And I'm just gonna say with Vlogmas, it was so much that there were days that I definitely skipped. But I'm gonna make sure that I continue to put things in the D box as to what's on my face. But I will tell you what I'm testing out. The new Dior Capture Total Cell Energy. So Dior reformulated their Capture foundation, and so this is the Cell Energy one, shade 4N, and I'm just gonna say right now, she's real cute, okay? But a whole nother review is coming on, okay? Stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's get into some December favorites. Okay, so in December, I tried out some new skincare and it jacked my face up so bad, on top of eating like trash, okay? So the two together, my chin broke out terribly, and I'm still recovering from it in terms of like the bumps that are on my face, but I have been using some skincare that I really do feel has helped to heal my skin, reduce the bumps, and really help my skin to become clear again. Number one, I have been eating better because I was like, that has to stop. Number one. But number two, the products I'm talking about, a couple of them are new to my collection, but most of these I've been using for a while, and when I say go back to them, these are like my tried and true. And then the new ones, I'll tell you which ones are new that I have really been enjoying. Okay, number one, I swear by the Chantecaille. This is the Rice and Geranium Foaming Cleanser. This is a cleanser that has like little beads in it that gently exfoliate the face, but they're very soft, so you can use this type of cleanser every day. And I find that this cleanser definitely cleans my face. Even when I go on with my first step and cleanse off all of my makeup, I will go on with this one just to make sure everything's off my face and we're really working with a nice clean base. So this cleanser is just total stand for me. So after the cleanser, I have been loving, here it is, loving going in with this La Mer product. So this is one of their newer products. It's the Hydrating Infused Emulsion. So I have been using this now for well over a month. I started using this, I want to say like mid-November. Yeah, it was about mid-November. And this is the smaller size. This is the 1.7 fluid ounce. So this product is good for dryness, good for anti-aging, good for pores, and also good for redness. So it is a feather light emulsion formulated with visibly renewing miracle broth. That's their, that is La Mer's product. And it provides all-day hydration for visibly replenished, strong, stabilized skin. It's great for all skin types, and I got it for the hydrating factor. So like most people's skin, my skin tends to be more dry in the wintertime as it gets colder. So I really have been enjoying this right after I cleanse my face. This is the first thing that I use, and you can use it day or night. I use it primarily during the day, but sometimes if my skin feels a little more dry at night, I will go in with this after my cleanser at night. It has a very light formulation, so that's about half a pump there. And as you can see, it has a pretty runny texture, but blending it into the skin, it really feels like water in the sense that it's not thick. It definitely is not heavy, but very hydrating. And as you can see, the back of my hand looks a lot more hydrated and plump. So I really have been enjoying this. Doesn't really have a scent at all to it, and I love it. Like, this will definitely be a repurchase for me when I run out. So then after that, I remember I got the Neiman Marcus Advent Calendar and I got the Chantecaille Advent Calendar. So in the Chantecaille Advent Calendar, they included one of their BioLifting Serum Plus. I love the BioLifting mask and I have another BioLifting product. So when I saw this, I was like, I already have a feeling I'm gonna love it, but I can't wait to try it. So there's only one size in this. This is of course a deluxe size, and it's an incredibly innovative serum infused with powerful botanicals and the newest peptides that smooth the appearance of horizontal and vertical lines while working to moisturize, immediately lift, visibly firm, and protect against blue light pollution. So I would go in with this. I'll go in with my cleanser, the La Mer Emulsion, and then I'll go in with this. And I really enjoyed using this. So I've been using this now for almost the whole month of December, and I do feel like my face looks nice and a little more plump. Definitely hydrated, which of course, if the skin is more hydrated, it is going to look more plump because we're going to have like, every time I think of plumpness, I think of like little fillers going into my face and just like hitting the wrinkles like that, just like and just plumping the skin. And so I really have enjoyed using this. This is a product that when I run out, I'm gonna miss it. I can already tell. So it comes, well, in this deluxe size. I can only show you what this packaging is like, but it almost feels like an oil. It's a little thicker than an oil. I would definitely say it has more of like a gel consistency, but it blends very nicely into the skin. And like a gel, it blends in pretty nicely. So it's definitely not thick or heavy. Nothing like an oil. It doesn't feel like an oil, but I think gel is a good word for it. And this is what my skin looks like. It's interesting, y'all. We're gonna see what my skincare looks like. So really have been enjoying that. And then for moisturizer, I got this in my Neiman Marcus Advent Calendar and my Chantecaille one. So the Chantecaille BioLifting Cream Plus, and I was like, BioLift everything for me. You hear? Everything. So this moisturizer is a luxuriously velvety smooth cream rich moisturizer infused with 5 extraordinary stem cells: BioNymph, Plantago, caffeine-free coffee, Daphne, and raspberry, and acts as the final hydrating step in our best-selling BioLifting anti-aging skincare regimen. So this is going to help to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, visibly lift and plump, helping to reveal a perfect 3D recontoured look of the face, all the claims, provides deep nourishing hydration, and it's 85% natural ingredients, including rose water as a base. So I am here, where's my other one? Oh, here we go. So this was what came in the Chantecaille Advent Calendar, and this was in the Neiman Marcus one. So I'm going through the Neiman Marcus one because it's smaller, but as you can see, I'm almost done. Now, granted, this is not a large tube, but you do not need a lot. And I will say, if you know anything about the La Mer moisturizer, so I have the La Mer moisturizer here and I love it. You don't need a lot of this moisturizer. You don't need a lot of this one. I'm talking like maybe 4 small dots, and you can use that to cover the whole face. So these are quite luxurious products, but when my skin really started to break out, I had a whole bunch of bumps right here, and I still have them on my face. They're just getting smaller. I just honed in on these products. I really feel like they help to clear the skin and like tone down the irritation that my skin was reacting to. I still don't know what was in the skincare that I was using that bothered my face, but I do feel like these products that I've been using over the month of December have really helped to heal my face and are continuing to heal my face. Now in the evening time, I used the Chantecaille Rose de Mai face oil, and I got this in the Chantecaille Advent Calendar. So I love using this at night. So this is a supercharged formula, and it pairs luxurious nourishing textures with visibly de-aging properties. So it's 100% natural elixir, and it's fused with powerful botanicals that lessen the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles while promoting a brighter looking complexion. So what I love a lot about this is that it has rose hip oil in it, evening primrose, rose damascena, and rose geranium. And if you haven't heard, rose hip seed oil is such a good oil for people who have acne prone skin, and also if you have oily skin. It's a very lightweight oil. So this oil is definitely an oil, but it's definitely more of a lightweight oil. Look at that. It's dropping out like water, but it's an oil. So, putting this on the face at night, but outside of its feeling, I really do feel like it really helped to like nourish my skin, number one, but then also heal my acne and my breakouts. And it's, like I said, continuing to heal it because I still have some breakouts along my face that are needing to be cleared up, but it's looking so much better than it did in the beginning of December. With that, have you heard of Dime? Okay, so I only have a couple products by Dime. I have their Eyelash Boost Serum, which I really enjoy. And this is a serum that if used every day, you will start to see that your eyelashes will grow. And I would say use it every day for about a month. You will definitely see them grow, get thicker, more healthy. I've been using this lash serum now on and off. I say on and off because I don't be consistent every night. But I've been using this on and off, I would say, for almost a year. And so I think this is my third or fourth tube that I've purchased. I really like this one. Now, I recently purchased their blue facial oil because of all the breakouts. And as you can see on the container, it's a blemish aid. And one of the primary ingredients in this particular oil is rosehip seed oil. So it's a blue facial oil formulated with acne-prone oily skin in mind, developed with dynamic ingredients such as blue tansy flower oil, black cumin seed oil, and rosehip oil. It was designed to battle pesky blemishes while still benefiting and nourishing the skin. And so I want to say this is about $36. And I'm definitely going to try more from the brand because their products are quite affordable in terms of skincare products. And this I have been loving. And I'm like, they've got some other products up there I want to try. So the oil actually looks blue. Let me put it on here since the back of my hand's all nice and shiny. And once again, it's quite thin, so it just feels like water, but it definitely is an oil. And look at that. Woo, y'all know I love me a good glow. So look at that. Very nice and hydrating as well. So I like to take this, rub it into my hands, and then I will press it into the skin. And you can really just press it on the parts of the face where you feel like you have more acne. I just put it all over my face because, you know, why not, okay? But press it into the skin. You don't need a lot. You literally, I had 3 drops on my face and both of my hands are nice and covered with it. And then it also smells quite aromatic. There we go. It smells very nice, so it's quite calming to the face, you know, to put on your face at night. Really have been enjoying these products, and I feel like these are the products that have really helped to, like I said, calm my skin down. My acne is definitely starting to go away, and I'm so happy about it. But yes, sorry for all of the skincare. I know everybody doesn't like to hear skincare, but we've got makeup. I just had to get that out of the way because I really have been enjoying these products. I would say out of all the samples that I talked about, the ones that I would most definitely purchase, the Biolifting Serum, the Rose de Mai Face Oil, and the Chantecaille Moisturizer. Those are the ones that I'm like, when I run out of those, I'm going to miss them because I really feel my skin has positively reacted to those. And at least for me, it's worth the price, okay? I can't say it's worth the price for you, but for me, it is worth the price. Now on to the makeup. So I bought the Valentino V-Lighter Dual Use Liquid Light Face Base and Top Coat. So I saw this on Sephora's website. I didn't really see any like hype around this, and I was just like, oh, where did this come from? So it's 2 shades in this liquid highlighter. That's pretty much what it is, a little liquid highlighter. And it has a very light illuminating base to it. So let me put it on my arm since my hands already have like a nice glow to it. So you can use this on, you know, on the skin before the makeup, and it's got a very light texture. So when you blend it into the face, it almost feels like you put a moisturizer on the face in terms of how it feels. You just get just the lightest, you know, illumination to the skin. On my hand, you might see a little bit more of the golden hue to it. But it's nothing that is like prominent. And I think this product is okay. It's not a disappointment at all, but I would definitely say it was not a need. Like if I would have gotten a sample of this in store, I wouldn't have bought this. But I do like it. I do like it. So I talked about this in December. I was like, I'll report back to you all as to how I feel is the best way to use it. And I do think this is just a product that if you want to have just like a little sheen, just a little something, not too much, not too much, just a little something, you could add this on before you put on your foundation, and it'll just give just a hint of radiance coming through the foundation. Nothing that's too strong, like the Hollywood Flawless Filter, or even like the Lila B priming face oil, nothing like extra dewy like that, or even the Lisa Eldridge, her Elevated Glow. It's not gonna come through nearly as much as these products do. It's just much more of a lighter radiance. So I like it, and I have used it, and I will continue to use it. But I definitely thought this was gonna give me like Hollywood Flawless Filter vibes, you know, like just that glass water like skin. And it's cute. It's just cute. So not a miss, but not like a total fave. But I wanted to talk about it in this video because I definitely told you all I was gonna update you on my thoughts. And so it's not gonna be one of those products that you can like mix in with your matte foundation and now your matte foundation looks more satin. It's not gonna do that. It's just more so like, my face needs a little pick-me-up. It's got some hydrating benefits in it, so it feels good on the skin. It makes the skin look hydrated, but the glow that I thought was gonna come from it does not come from it too much, you know? And that's it. Foundations, I've talked about this one time again, and this is a Valentino product. I totally think it's worth your buy. This is their foundation. I wear the shade DR1, but I think shade DN1 is a better shade for me. I am gonna be picking that one up, but DR1, I can make it work. The most flawless looking foundation on my skin that I own, and I do have a lot. This joker is it's just all the things. So I love it. It reduces pores, makes my fine lines and wrinkles look like they're not there. It doesn't settle in my fine lines and wrinkles. And it has a really good, strong, medium to full coverage. Has a very natural finish to the skin. So I think if you have oily skin, you actually could enjoy this because it's going to be a little radiant on your skin, but I don't think it's going to be too radiant. And if you have dry skin, if you go in with your hydrating bases, I think you can still enjoy this product. I think this is just a really good overall, like good for everybody foundation, and I love it. I've talked about it so much, so I'm just gonna get on past that one. Another foundation I really have like fallen back in love with again is the Dior Face and Body Foundation. So I have the shade 4N, and this is such, once again, another just flawless and perfecting foundation, lighter coverage than the Valentino. So this is going to err on the side of like solid medium to a light medium, depending on how much you apply. The finish is going to be very natural, maybe a little more matte than, not matte, but comfortable. So very natural. Think along the lines of the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. So how that one has just a very like natural sort of light matte finish. That's what I think of with the Dior Face and Body. More coverage though than the Ease Drop. But if you've got the Ease Drop, you don't have this one, it kind of gives you something to compare it to. But this is just so perfecting, and it's a great product to use on those days when you don't want the, you know, full coverage like Valentino, but you want something that's just a little more perfecting, and it's just gonna like really smooth everything out. This does not need a powder at all. Like this is one of those foundations that for my more normal skin, I can put it on and just put whatever products I want to put on top and be out the door because it lasts forever on the skin. And if you add a powder to it, then I mean, it's just gonna be there all day, all night. The Valentino one, I would definitely say I like to set it because I don't have to set it, but it doesn't last as long as it does with the powder. With the powder, I can get all day wear, so I like to use the powder with this one. Under eye powder, you all know I love Cashapp, so I'm gonna breeze right by this. I wanted a lighter shade, so I got the shade Comfy, and I have been really enjoying this. I wanted a nice, like, a little more brightening under the eye, so I'm gonna add some because I've had this face on for a good little while. But you can see it in action if you've never seen this in action. So why do I love this product? It just blurs all the pores and gives such a smooth finish to the skin. So look at this side of my face. compared to this side. It just looks so much more smooth, and like we've just lifted the makeup again, ready to keep going. So I love, love, love this. Also, it's not heavy, so it doesn't drag the wrinkles under my eyes. And it's just stunning. So I really have been enjoying the shade Comfy. I used to wear the shade Pillowy. Pillowy works for all over my face. So that's why I went for the shade Comfy. I wanted something a little lighter, a little more brightening under the eye. Now, for a powder that I've had for such a long time, but when I tell you the love affair is real, Gucci, don't know how to pronounce any of the other words in its name, okay? But the Gucci powder, this is the face powder. I have shade 07. So this shade is going to be an all over face shade for me. I love this powder so much. I want to get a lighter shade so I can use it under my eyes because I feel like, got an itch. I feel like this Gucci powder could make me put Kosas down. I know. If you've been around here for a while, when I say the love affair has been so real, like I've been using Kosas now for almost a year solid. Kosas has thrown all of my other powders out the door, not literally, but like I hardly reach for anything else. But this here Gucci, all right? The most smoothing and the most perfecting powder, like face powder. And y'all know I love me a good glow. So this powder still has like a slight radiance to it, but it just makes the skin look filtered, okay? So let's see it in action because we need, to retouch up the makeup. So I go in with the Sonya G Smooth Buffer Brush. This is the only brush I use with it. And just buff this into the skin. And what really made me like appreciate this powder and what it can do for the face is when my face started being irritated. I had all of these bumps and I'm like, eesh. It is annoying when your face does not cooperate, but you're constantly creating content. And I do feel like my skin should be in good health, it should look good because I'm always telling you all about products and skincare and like, how can I talk about them when my face is jacked up? That's how I feel. However, I'm human and nobody's perfect, so life is life. But I reached for this product and I kept reaching for it and I was like, yo, my skin is starting to look like I ain't got nothing on it. And I started feeling so good about my skin even through all the breakouts. It is such a smoothing powder. So I just buff it in like so. And I feel like my skin just looks porcelain, like just so smooth. And I have not met a powder that I've liked that has been this smoothing. It has made me reach for this. Like I use this powder every time I do my makeup. Every single time. And it has a little bit of coverage to it. So for instance, I wore a mask earlier today, so I pretty much don't have anything on my nose. So you can see my freckles, they're nice and prominent. And so I'm just gonna take a little powder over the nose. And as you can see, we've toned down the appearance of my freckles. No, I didn't mean to cover them up. I just wanted you to see the coverage of the powder, okay? So you could use this as a powder foundation if you wanted to. So like I said, 07 is pretty much a good shade match for my face. And like I said, I just feel like I might have found Kosas's competitor. I'm just saying. It does have the infamous Gucci scent. I thoroughly enjoy this scent, but if you don't like scented products or if you don't like the Gucci scent, then you're not gonna like the scent of this powder. However, the scent is not heavy at all. It does not last on the skin. But I mean, I just feel like my face looks smooth as Riley's butt, okay? I love this freaking powder. I can't say enough. I cannot sing its praises enough. Like, if you have not tried that powder, I feel like out of everything I'm talking about today, outside of the skincare, because skin is first. Outside of the skincare, if you don't try nothing else I'm talking about today, try that powder. And y'all know I try not to tell y'all to buy stuff. I try not to tell y'all to buy stuff because your money is precious, and like I don't ever want you to feel like you have to spend your money on something. So you do not have to spend your money on this. How to the ever. If you might even think you might want it, add to cart because the powder is good. It is great. It's fabulous. It's all the things. Okay? Okay. Now, moving on to a bronzer by Goss. So I talked about this, I want to say in December. I was talking about a video, and I can't remember what it was, but it was my declutter video. I was going through my bronzers, blushes, and highlighters, decluttering products, and I came across my Goss bronze palettes, and I really love the deepest shade, Deep Copper. I've been using that one pretty much all last year. Yeah, here we go. So here's Deep Copper, and this one gets so much love from me. I love this shade to contour my nose, and this is such a really beautiful bronzing shade. I will say that these bronzers do show up a little deeper on the skin than what you think. So even though these are not the deepest, and he definitely can go deeper, and I really hope he does because the formulation is beautiful. I would say if you are a couple shades deeper than me, you can definitely use Deep Copper on the face and see it bronze the face. These are more radiant bronzers, so they're not gonna look like, you know, shimmer particles are on your face, but you will see a nice radiance on the cheeks, and I love it. So when I was decluttering my blushes and bronzers and highlighters, I came across the other two shades that I had not tried at all. And looking at this, I'm like, this is not really gonna bronze my face too much. It actually does, and I actually love it almost more than Deep Copper. Deep Copper is more warm. This one is definitely more neutral, and I really like it. So this is such a gorgeous nose contour for my complexion. And then if I want like a nice, like neutral bronze, this is a really beautiful shade. Once again, has a nice radiance to it, and I love it. The lightest shade is going to be called Light Gold, and I think, have I tried? No. I think I tried the bronzer. Because it looks like I put a brush in there, but I can't remember what it looks like on my face. And this, I don't see this doing anything for me. I'm going to try it in good faith just to say that I try it so that I can confidently say this doesn't work for me, but I really don't reach for this one at all because I don't think it's gonna do anything for me. But I'm keeping it because I'll just use it in my makeup kit. But such a beautifully formulated product. You all know I love Goss and all of his products. So if you are interested in these, they really are great quality. And I love that he gives you a more neutral to cool tone shade and then a more warm shade in the palettes. Okay, then on to, let's talk about a product that was an absolute just for me. Okay. Natasha Denona came out with the Rose Cheek Duo, and this blush right here, it's the formulation for me. I don't like this formulation that she's been experimenting with. It's a cream to powder type of formulation, and it's okay. It's okay. What makes this product not a standout for me is also, this is just really light. So it gives just a hint of color. I like the lighter shade in the Glam Face and Eye palette. I like that blush shade better because it's a little deeper. It'll show up better. But the formulation, I think she needs to go all cream or go all powder. But this cream to powder, it's a little too, it almost feels hard panned every time I go into the blush. And then I feel like I'm working so much to get product on the brush, and then I put it on the face, and it's still just light in its color, but I feel like I do a lot of work for, when I say a little payoff, not even just for the color, just in general. I think this formula would be better if it was just either more creamy or if it was more powdery. It's like in the middle, and I don't think that's the best formula for this. Now the highlighter is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But I would say, even though this is $19, I just think this is not worth it in the sense of, if you want to try any of her blushes or her highlighters, go for some of the other products that she has. Yes, it's going to be more money, but I think you will enjoy the formulation better. And if you're just interested in the highlighter, then she does sell individual highlighters that I think you would really enjoy, and versus having this and like knowing that you may not like this blush and not reach for it. I think the color is pretty, and so just because it's not deep enough for me to my liking, I don't think anything's wrong with the color. But for instance, in the deeper Glam Face and Eye Palette, we have this blush here, okay? Same formulation as the blush in here, but because this color is deeper, then I'm still going in doing, work trying to get the product onto my brush, but it does show up better. So at least it's kind of like, okay, we did a little extra work, but we can see the product. I think this particular duo is definitely going to be better for people who have lighter skin, but formula-wise, I just, highlighter. So I'm gonna just throw her in here real quick, and then I'm gonna throw her out because I've already talked about her a few times, but I just gotta tell you again, I really, really love this product, and it is the Hermes highlighter in Permabrass. Oh, she's so stunning, and I'm so happy I have her. Here is a quick little swatch of what the highlighter looks like. The perfect champagne color, blends so effortlessly, and what I love about it is it has a nice enough gold base where it can work for complexions that are deeper than me and like much deeper than me, but it can also work for complexions that are much lighter than me. So it's such a good overall toned highlighter. Formulation is great, and she's so pretty. So pretty. So like if I don't have to reach for another highlighter, or when I was in December, if I didn't have to reach for a particular highlighter, I was reaching for her. So happy I have her. Okay, now 2 highlighters that I'm just kind of like meh about. The Fenty Beauty liquid highlighters. Okay, so alrighty, I enjoy Honey Hottie, the deeper shade, over Hustler Baby 2.0 because Hustler Baby 2.0 has more of like a glittery finish to it. And for me, like products like this, I typically like to use liquid highlighters underneath my foundation. So to me, let me go ahead and blend this out so you can see it. For me, I don't want something that has like actual like glitter in it underneath my foundation. It's pretty, and like when you look at it, you're like, oh, look at the sparkles, and it's nothing heavy. Like, so this is what it looks blended out on my hand, and hopefully you can see like the particles in it, and if you can't, I'm sorry. It's nothing that's like chunky, but it's there, and I wish it didn't have that. If this did not have like that shimmer to it, oh, it would be beautiful, and I would love it. Now I will say, when I did put this on my face and I put foundation on top, you don't see the glitter on like through the foundation, so that's good. But this is a formulation that dries fairly quickly. Like, you've got some time to blend it out, but like don't put it on your face and then go like do something else and come back 5 minutes later, because it would have dried down. So like I said, these are not a total miss, but like I wish they were a little bit more emollients, if you will, so that they could be worn underneath foundation and get like, I think I wanted them to be more like glossy, and they are actually liquid highlighters, if that makes sense. So the formulation is more dry because they really are a liquid highlighter versus being a liquid illuminator. That's what I wanted them to be. I wanted them to be a liquid illuminator, and they are liquid highlighters. So nothing's wrong with the product per se. I just wanted something a little different. So Honey Hottie, I like Honey Hottie because it doesn't have any of that shimmer in it. So it really is more so like a, it's more like a liquid illuminator. And even though it's kind of deep against my complexion, if I put a foundation on top, you don't see like the bronzy hue, you just see like a glow. So the products are not bad. They're not bad at all. But if you're like me and you're looking more for like an illuminator, these aren't gonna be it. These are actual highlighters. So they're just kind of meh for me. I've used them a couple more times since I filmed my video, but they're definitely not products that I'm gonna reach for like all the time. Now, you know, as summer is approaching, I could definitely see myself using these on the body, because in the summer I like a nice glow and I want you to see the shimmer and the sparkle, but I really wanted to use these more so like as illuminators. So maybe my expectations were just different. And that's why I'm saying that this is more of like a meh product, because it's my preference versus the product is bad. Does that make sense? Now on to eyeshadow. I've got a couple eyeshadow products I want to talk about. First, Mini Biba. Hello, she's gorgeous and I love it. I have used Mini Biba a few good times ever since I've gotten it, and I love me a little Mini Biba. Love the colors in this particular eyeshadow palette, and I think the formula is pretty good. Like, even this cream to powder formula is not hard to work with. I just go in with smaller amounts, but I get what I need from it. No patchiness, easy to blend. And then these other mattes are so gorgeous. And I am not one to typically do like an all matte look because I tend to like shimmer. But with this particular color scheme, I've done a few all matte looks and I really have enjoyed how they look. So, and of course, this shimmer in the middle is just stunning. I really enjoyed this. I think if you've been eyeing it, I think you would enjoy it as well. And then I did a review on a Lorac palette, the Fairy Tale Forest palette. Let me take it out the packaging. I had so much fun doing that video because I hadn't bought a Lorac palette in so long. Like, this is my second palette that I purchased. But I enjoyed all of the tones in this palette. I love that this palette has nice cool to neutral tones, and the shimmers and metallics are just scrumptious. So in that video, a lot of you commented and were like, Chelsea, if you love this palette, you have to try Lorac Pro Soleil, and you need to try Noir. And you know what? I listened. So I purchased both Soleil and Noir, and you guys were right. So here is Soleil, the perfect warm toned palette with beautiful neutral shades, all the neutral shimmers, so complimentary. I even love the organizations, all mattes on the left side, all my shimmers on the right. Like, one of you all were like, these are the two palettes that you'd love to use when you're doing other people's makeup, and I totally see why. Totally see why these would be your go-to for bridal makeup, you know, things like that. Here's Noir. Look at that beautiful cool tone smokiness. Like, do you see this? I have used this a few times and I love all three of these palettes. The formulation is so beautiful. The mattes are easy to blend with. I think these palettes, even though they call them pro palettes, I think they would be great palettes for people who are new to eyeshadow, who want to use eyeshadow. So I'm not talking about the person who's like, I just want one like eyeshadow and that's it. But you have somebody who's like, you know what? I don't really have a lot of eyeshadows, but like I want a really good palette that I can use for like multiple occasions that's not gonna break the bank, because all three of these palettes are $35. I definitely would suggest these palettes because the mattes blend very well. The shimmers are really nice and pigmented, but they're not so pigmented that like it might scare somebody, but you could take it there if you wanted to. Just add a little, you know, spritz on your brush or mixing Mayron. Like, you can do all the things with the shimmers. And they don't need any of that. But like I said, if you didn't want that type of high impact, you don't have to have it like that. And it's just gorgeous. So thank you to you who suggested the other two to me, because I'm so happy that I have those. And now I'm like, okay, Lorac, you're on my radar. You are back on my radar. So very happy to have those lip products. So do y'all see this red lip right here? Which I heard red was the lip color for the spring. So I'm like, well, I'm already here and ready, okay? Already here and ready. So the two red lips that I wore a lot in December, and it's this combination of lip, Sephora Collection liquid lipstick in the shade 01. And as you can see in the demo, I'm outlining my lips in it. And then I went in with Christian Louboutin lipstick in the shade Mundo Red. And I feel like we have the perfect combination of cool tone red and warm tone red all in one. So the Sephora liquid lipstick is going to be a really solid, gorgeous blue red, cool tone red. And then this Mundo Red shade from Christian Louboutin, it has more of a warmer tone to it, and hence the magic on the lips. So the Sephora liquid lipstick is going to obviously have a drier formula. Christian Louboutin is going to be more of a satin formula. So when I wear these two together, first of all, the Sephora liquid lipstick is not an uncomfortable liquid lipstick. It's actually very comfortable. But the Christian Louboutin adds a little more moisture to it. So it makes for a very comfortable lip that's not bleeding on my teeth, and my teeth look whiter, like all the things. I love, love, love this lip combo. And a lot of times when you saw me wearing red, especially in December, these two were the reds that I was wearing. Now, I've already told y'all my love affair with the Sephora liquid lipsticks, and I added 3 more in December. And I've already talked about all of them, but just to reiterate them, I got me some nudes, okay? So I have shade 66 and 75. So here is shade 66, more of a lighter pinky nude. This is shade 75. It's just a little deeper than 66. And then this is shade 84. It has a rose tone, and this is one of the newer shades. So I highly recommend these Sephora liquid lipsticks because they're $15. They have tons and tons of shades, and they're so, like, I think I love them so much because the colors are so intense. And for a liquid lipstick, it's not uncomfortable, because a lot of liquid lipsticks are very uncomfortable and drying on my lips. And so I tend to not reach for them as often because I don't like, you know, the overly dry and cracked lipped feeling. However, when it's a formulation like this that feels still sort of hydrating on the lips, but then you have the lasting power of the liquid lipstick, like, you just can't beat it. So sorry for being like a broken record, but like, I love them. Love, love, love them. And then the last thing I want to talk about were makeup brushes. And in December, I think it was December, yes, BK Beauty came out with their travel brush set. I'm getting all the brushes together with this case right here. And guys, oh, this is so good. So first of all, you have a beautiful quality travel case, and then you have 5 brushes that come on the inside. So we have the best foundation brush. If you know me, you know I love this. The travel size of the BK Beauty 101 brush. And then you have a great all over face powder brush. This is the travel 107 brush. So I love to use this for bronzer and blush. So bronzer like so. And then I'd like to use this motion for blush. You can also use highlighter. Just put it on its side and apply highlighter. And then you can buff in powder with this brush. So this is really an all over face brush, powder brush. And then you have 3 eye brushes that you really can do a whole eye look with. So you have their travel size of their 202 brush, a great blending brush. Then you have the 203 brush. That's a blending brush, but it's also a shader brush. And then what I like, the 207 brush, a really great under eye buffing blending brush. So what I love, in addition to just the quality of the brushes, are the lengths. Okay, so how many times have we had like mini brushes and they're like the size of this, and you're just like trying to put on your face makeup, but the brush is so tiny. What Lisa did, and I thought it was genius, was she made them mini sizes, but they're not minute sizes. And when comparing them to a Sonya G brush, they're not that much shorter than Sonya G's brushes. And I was like, yes, this is why I love them, because the size of Sonya G's brushes are like a good medium, like a good length. They're not too long and they're not too short. Here's the Rephr 02 brush. Sorry, all my brushes are dirty. These are the brushes that I'm used to using in terms of like length, okay? And then here is the Rephr 01 brush. Okay, so lengthwise, Sonya G's Worker Pro, Rephr 02, and then Rephr 01. So I'm used to using brushes that are like this length. And then here is BK Beauty's, this is the 203 brush. And when you look at the length of it, it's not that much shorter than the Rephr and Sonya G brushes. So when you're using BK Beauty's travel brushes, you don't feel like you're like losing the handle of the brush, because if you're used to using brushes that are the length of Rephr's and Sonya's, it's just a smidge shorter. So like I can comfortably hold it, do my eye work, do my face work, and it is stunning. This is the 101 brush to the longer one. Now, you know, there's a little bit of a difference, but still, this is still a good size to apply makeup on the face. So I was very happy with the length of the brushes, because I hate using tiny brushes to apply my makeup. So I just love this brush set, and it is this actual travel case is a very nice size, so I can fit a lot of other brushes in here. If you have an eyeshadow palette, you can actually fit an eyeshadow palette here. So the BK Beauty eyeshadow palette fits in here nicely. This is such a really good travel case set, so I had to highlight that. I was sent that, but I have definitely been using the brushes, like not even just travel with, just in everyday use, because they're great brushes. But like I said, I don't feel like I'm using travel brushes when I'm using them. And then lastly, Sonya G. Okay, I think I always pronounce this wrong when I pronounce it, so forgive me. I know the accent is on the first I. Niji. Did I say it right? If I didn't, I'm so sorry. But this is Sonya G's brush, and I love it. Thank you, Sonya G, for sending this brush to me. I did do a whole review on this brush, but I have been loving this brush for my bronzer application because I can put on bronzer so fast. I mean, literally just put it in my, bronzer and then tap, 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 and bronzer is blended. But I also like that the denseness of the brush really allows for me to pick up bronzer quite well, because sometimes I feel like bronzer brushes, if they're really fluffy, you don't get a lot of the pigment and you get a more diffused look of bronzer. And there's a time and a place for more diffused bronzer, but sometimes I want my bronzer to say hello, and I love that this brush allows for me to do that. However, for the person who doesn't want the intense color of your bronzer, it is such a great blending brush as well. So there are times, go in a little heavy-handed, and I don't worry, I just go in and blend the product out, and this blends out the product so easily. You can also apply blush with this, and so when applying blush, I just take it on the side and apply the blush like so. And then even for a highlighter, just apply the highlighter on the side and blend it in like so. But I have been reaching for this brush like nonstop for my bronzer, and I love it. And of course, it's soft. It's just everything. So guys, sorry this has been a long one, but these are some amazing products. And then, like I said, I had a couple of MEHS products in here, but for the most part, these have been the products that I've been reaching for through the month of December, unless I had to reach for something else. So let me know down in the comment section what your favorite products are, or what they were from the month of December. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.